Hi, it's Wendy Olson here at the University of Manchester. Our spatial regression webinar is on Monday, and we're preparing by organizing some videos and books and quizzes. And I have two books with me that I wanted to introduce. So one is the book by Fox, and it's called Applied Regression Analysis and Generalized Linear Models. So this book has the material that allows you to do a multi-level model with a Poisson structure for the link between the dependent variable and the other variables. And this Poisson model is good for counts, it's good for rare events, it's good for exposures to different kinds of stimuli or smells and pollution. It's good for a lot of things. And Poisson models are used in demography. The seminar is going to explain how to add a spatial component to that, which means putting in your district indicators or some sort of local area indicator. And that also can be associated with an exposure measure because you'd have the population or the space in that geographic area. You may also want to review Bayesian methods, but it's optional. So we'll talk about Bayesian methods. And here's the book by David Kaplan, quite useful, review of the Bayesian methods of computation. But it's not really essential to use Bayesian methods because you can do a generalized you can do a maximum likelihood estimate for your regression using one of the packages in R or Stata or any other major statistical package. So the Bayesian material is optional in this webinar, but it affects the way the results come through. So if the results come through on a spatial grid and you have all the, let's say, districts listed, so we would have about 600 districts, you can make a square matrix showing all these 600 districts, and the link between them in the cells of that square might be the correlation of their data in the initial stage, or at the final output stage, it would be an indicator of how far these things are correlated with the outcome variable. So in our case, going out to work for pay, which is very gendered. And we have a model with gender in it and all this, but the spatial residual is what we would look at in this square grid. So we're going to explain about that spatial element, and when you add the spatial element, how it affects the rest of the regression. So it is for intermediate to advanced statistical researchers. And I'm Wendy Olson. We're hoping to welcome you on that day with our team, Diego Perez Ruiz and Arkadiusz Wisniewski, and others who've worked with us who we acknowledge. So yeah, start your work and be prepared for our webinar and tutorial. Thank you. Bye-bye.